Have you ever wondered to yourself, what would happen if I fell all the way through the Earth? If the answer is no, then let's go on a little thought experiment together. Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to my new show, the SciManDan Show, the place where we start analysing the thread of reality and then knit ourselves a nice sweater. My name is SciManDan, thank you very much for joining me. So, you've constructed yourself some sort of capsule to take you through the centre of the Earth, and there is a ready-made tunnel for you to make the journey. Clever you. But what exactly will happen? Well, before we take our imaginary plunge through the planet, we need to take care of a few particulars. The furthest we have ever been able to dig into the Earth is 12,262 metres. Located on the Kola Peninsula in Russia, the Kola super deep borehole unfortunately only managed to penetrate a third of the way into the Earth's crust. Also, the diameter of the hole is only 23 centimetres across, and it took 20 years to finish. So why is it so difficult to dig further into the Earth? Well, there's two main reasons: pressure and temperature. The temperature increases as you descend into the Earth, with the core peaking at 6,500 degrees C. The bottom of the Kola super deep borehole sits at a temperature of a balmy 180 degrees Celsius. Now that's the equivalent of your morning toast being turned into a pile of charred embers. And even if we manage to penetrate the crust, the mantle starts at a staggering 1,600 degrees C, reaching 3,600 degrees C when you get to the outer core. If you'd made your capsule out of tungsten, which is the metal with the highest melting point at 3,422 degrees C, then you would barely make it through if you're not cooked alive first. Now, the pressure increases too as you go deeper, reaching devastating levels within a few kilometres. The pressure in the lower mantle, for example, is a whopping 24 gigapascals. Now, to put that into context, that's around 240,000 times more dense than the atmospheric pressure that we experience here at sea level, and 240 times more pressure than the bottom of the Mariana Trench. This is a place where submarines need glass at least 15 centimetres thick to avoid immediate implosion. This means that the pressure in the lower mantle would be almost impossible to navigate without some sort of new technology to counter its effects. Then there is the Earth's radiation to contend with. I won't go too much into that, but let's just say that half of the Earth's interior heat is generated by the decay of certain heavy elements. So as you can see, drilling a hole through the entire Earth at the moment is impossible. For the purposes of our little thought experiment here, we are going to ignore the effects of pressure, temperature and radiation exposure, or at least say that our little capsule we've designed is immune to their effects.
Right, you're all suited up, ready to go in your capsule. You push the big button that says I am Iron Man and away you go. Now, luckily, you managed to make your tunnel in such a way that there is no air inside it. Amazing. This was clever, because if you hadn't, it would have taken you weeks to get to the core because of air resistance. So, 5 minutes in and you are hurtling towards the centre of the planet at speeds of around 8 kilometers per second. That is roughly orbital velocity and faster than the ISS. All is well, and you have just enough time for a quick lunch. After 15 minutes, you are approaching the core of the Earth. However, the gravitational pull on your capsule is weakening by the minute, because much of the planet is now above you.
Can you imagine that? Having the planet above you?
5 minutes later and you are rushing past the core. However, you realise that down is now up. Do not panic. Momentum is your friend here. It helps you tear out of the inner core and back into the mantle 10 minutes later. Now at this point you are slowing, but because of the conservation of energy and assuming gravity is uniform all over the planet, you will make it back through to the other side, stopping almost exactly as you break through the surface.
Think of it as a huge pendulum. You start here and you end up on the opposite side at the same height. The whole thing took you about 40 minutes, much quicker than hopping on the nearest trans-Pacific flight, hey? And all it cost you was breaking a few laws of physics. So as you can see, drilling a hole that goes right through the entire Earth is simply impossible. At the moment, this is all just a pipe dream. No? You didn't like that one? Oh, okay. Well, what a great first episode. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back next week where we take a look at the stuff that makes you, you, and me, me. DNA. I have been SciManDan. This is the SciManDan Show, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.